Devon
Devon Achane.
Achane. Well, Coach Steve has him eighth. Coach John has him 10th. Outside the top 10 for John. Um, I'm gonna let John start on this one. Tell me a little bit why you like him, and then give me a reason why you hate him too, or concern for you. I want to say hate.
For
Oh,
I will say
you have
this.
to say which John that is.
Yeah,
John.
Jesus
I will
Christ.
always
Same
defer.
John.
I will always defer to the other John.
Oh, guess first then.
Uh, I will. I love his explosiveness, and I love his versatility because you can line him up in a one-back set. You can put him in motion. You could play him. He can run patterns out of the slot. You could even probably put him in motion out to the Z. So there's so much you can do with him. And I'm not trying to be a sizist, but the reality is he's well under 200 pounds. And if you look historically, in the last 3 years, I guess it's not deep historical, but it's the same when I did it in the past. But in the last 3 years, only two backs under 200 pounds have finished as a top 24 PPR receiving fantasy football. Those are Naeem Hines and Jarek McKissick, JD McKissick. And we both know why we all know why those players ended up in the top 24. Their teams were awful. They were playing from behind, and they would just end up with like 8 targets, 7 receptions for 65 yards, which would, end up giving you 15 points. And if they scored, then all of a sudden you were 21. There is no starting running back under 200 pounds who can carry you volume-wise for an entire season. So I'm pretty stuck on the 200-pound, and I understand, I'm fine if you want a third-string flex running back with high ceiling. That's not my goal in fantasy sports. Now, from an asset and an NFL standpoint, that's a total different story. You put him on the field in 11 personnel, you get him mismatched with a linebacker or a safety, he is going to be a massive problem for the defense. But I don't see him getting 15 touches a game.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same. Oh shit! I'm kind of in the same boat. I like him. I like the player. He's great, solid. Like NFL will look at him a lot differently than how fantasy production and players should look at him. You throw him in Kansas City, you throw him in Miami, you put him in San Francisco, the right play caller, the right system, he's going to be great. And he'll have big plays and he'll be awesome. But to rely on that for fantasy week in and week out is just be asking for trouble. You're just going to beat your head against the wall. To me, Achane's one of those guys. He's going to be valuable in punt return, valuable special teamer. They'll have design plays for him and he'll be really good, but I'm not blowing a late first round rookie draft pick on that player. I'm just not doing that. I'll take my shots elsewhere and take my chances elsewhere. So I think his value is what's kind of crushing me right now and why I'm starting to bury him in my rankings is because I don't want to pay the price that people are paying for him for the idea that maybe he turns out to be, I don't know, Tavon Austin. It's like, okay, great. Like that's fine. But I'm not building a championship roster around that. So I love the player. I think he's a good player. I think he has a role in the current NFL, the way the NFL is sort of evolving into these quick, speedy, fast guys. I just don't know if I'm willing to bite the bullet at 110 to put that on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I think it really depends on his landing spot and where he goes. If he goes to a team where the play call is very creative and knows how to get a player like him in open space or in big run situations, he's going to thrive at the next level. And that's part of the reason why I do like him at 8. I mean, vision's excellent, has that big playability to him. There's definitely downsides. You guys kind of named most of them already at this point here. He definitely has special teams value, so he's going to be drafted. It's not even an issue. But I think that there's a way for him to get involved in an offense. They can use him in different ways, whether it's obviously running the ball, obviously in the passing game. And obviously we've seen a couple guys do it in the passing game. And if he lands in that situation where he's involved in the passing game. We've seen more running backs as of recently being more involved in the passing game. He can explode at the next level here. Again, there's concerns for sure. It's like a high risk, high reward kind of sitting for me at 8 right now. But I think there's a lot of high reward to him that I like him at 8.